Hello, Sarah Sabin, Executive Leadership and Intuition Coach here. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about a topic that comes up quite frequently with executives, and that is the topic of trust. And I'm talking about specifically trust in the workplace, but obviously it can apply in other contexts as well. So it's pretty common that over the course of working with someone, there will be trust issues somewhere. So either they don't trust someone on their team, or perhaps someone on their team doesn't trust them, and it's causing problems in the working relationship. And the problem is that trust tends to be quite vaguely defined, and I do not like vague definitions. So in this video, I'm going to go through the four pillars of what trust is comprised of. And when you're aware of that, you can start to understand exactly why trust issues are occurring. There's one caveat to this first. So trust goes both ways. So even if you're saying, I don't trust this other person because of X, Y, and Z, fill in the blank of whatever reasons those might be, there will be something on your end that is missing that is causing the lack of trust as well. So, as well as using these four pillars in relation to other people, you should first be using it on yourself to see where it is that you might be contributing to this lack of trust within a relationship. So, as you've heard the saying go, trust takes a long time to build and not very much time at all to crumble away, right? So it's something that is important to pay attention to because once trust is broken, it's difficult to get back. But it can be gotten back if you make the effort to do so. And there's another word that's important here that's interlinked. So trust and respect are interlinked. And neither element exists purely because of a job title. So respect doesn't come just because someone has a job title if they are completely unreliable and incompetent, irrespective of how they're called by the world, the likelihood is that you won't trust and respect them. So they are earned, trust and respect are earned by the way that you interact with other people. So trust is that belief in your team, in other people, and respect is trust in action. And one-time activities are not enough. So like most things, trust and respect are built consistently over a period of time by continuing to follow through on certain actions. So there's no point in doing something once and be like, okay, well, I helped this person out 80 years ago, and therefore I am owed this respect. No, it is something that is consistently worked on. So what are the four pillars of trust? Number one, sincerity, or the simplest way of putting it, there is alignment between you on the inside and you on the outside. There is alignment between your private conversations and your public conversations in your words, in your actions, and in your body language. So, for example, there's no point in saying one thing, but then doing something completely different. For example, telling your kids not to smoke, but you're smoking a pack of 10 a day. I'm not sure how many cigarettes are in a pack, but you get the point. So there's a lack of sincerity there. So in order for that to exist, you want to look at, do you say what you mean and mean what you say? And can I believe that you are the person that you say you are? So again, just to remind you, something you look at in relation to yourself and in relation to other people as well. Second element is competence. So Are you competent to do the job that you are known for doing? So you have a particular functional or technical expertise in a field, and therefore that you're capable of meeting expectations. So basically, that you are able to do a good job because of your expertise. Now, if your competence isn't up to scratch in a particular area, that's fine because when you're aware of it, you can make a plan to come up to scratch in that particular area. But the problem is when this kind of lack of trust exists and no one's entirely sure why that might be. So quite often people will leap to competence, but it's actually to do with one of the other pillars that is creating that lack of trust. The third pillar is reliability. So effectively managing and fulfilling your commitments. In other words, can you be counted on? Can you be trusted to do what you say you will when you say you will do it? And this is a really important element because a lot of people in the process of people pleasing will overpromise. They'll be like, of course, I can do this whole thing by tomorrow. And of course, they can't. They knew that to start with, but they chose not to communicate that. And so it arrives late. And if that consistently happens, that really does erode trust. So be very conscious if you are prone to falling through on your commitments in the timelines that you have given, because it is your responsibility to set timelines that you can meet. And the last element is care. So being emotionally involved in the relationship with the other person and the outcome that you are connected to, dependent on the reasoning or context in that particular situation. So, do you really have the best interests of the company at heart? Do you have the best interests of your people at heart? And I don't mean that you over empathize and allow bad behavior to occur, but people know that you care about outcomes, about results, about the company, and that you want your best, want the best for your team and your people. And essentially, you have a strong why behind what you're doing. So you're emotionally invested in whatever it is that you're trying to create. So, as I said, where you're having that feeling of, I feel like there's something going on between me and a particular person, then that's when you go into the audit phase. So you go through those four pillars and you look at where is the potential pitfalls here. And then when you've done that, you can sit down and have a conversation about it.